Hello, and welcome to our September webinar. Thank you for joining our webinar today, focused on AMAG's Symmetry solutions and services available to our channel and customers. I'm Kim Rayfelt, Director of Media Relations, and I'm your host today. These webinars provide important updates, drive awareness of AMAG's new Symmetry solutions, share best practices, and dive into unique product features that will help you differentiate your company from others when you team up with us. If you have any questions throughout this webinar, please type them into the Q&A box and we will address as many as we can during the webinar. And then any that we don't get to, we will certainly follow up with after the webinar. On today's webinar, we have a webinar veteran and all-around nice guy, Vice President of Product Management, Jonathan Moore. Today, he will be highlighting what we plan to show in our booth next week at GSX in Orlando, Florida. I will then provide a brief marketing update. AMAG technology delivers a powerful, unified, and open security platform that empowers businesses to effectively secure their facilities, meet compliance, and have peace of mind. While access control is certainly the foundation of what we do here at AMAG, the Symmetry Security Management System includes video, identity management, analytics, mobile, intrusion, visitor management, command and control, and incident management. There's quite a lot there. Symmetry's scalable security solutions provide operational insights and intelligence to improve business today and tomorrow. Our solutions help our reseller channel, consultant community, and end users solve problems. The Symmetry Security Management System and our ecosystem of best-of-breed technology partners work together to provide a complete solution for you. All of our webinars and so much more are available on our YouTube channel, which can be found at the link there at the bottom of your screen. Now I will turn it over to Vice President of Product Management, Jonathan Moore.
Thanks, Kim, and good afternoon from the East Coast to everybody. As Kim said, I'm Jonathan Moore, and I'm here to talk a little bit about what we're going to be showing next week at the GSX trade show in Orlando. So pretty exciting in terms of it. I'd worked out, I think the last trade show we had participated in was around 2019. So we're at 2+ years without really showing anything major at a trade show. So from that perspective, we really have a lot to cover. Normally you're always looking at what's our latest version, what are we trying to show, what's the latest feature, and at trade shows you're always trying to highlight those things. I'm happy to say we don't have a problem this time around because it's been a while. We have a lot of new things to talk about. We have a lot of new features and functions to highlight at next week's show. So it should be pretty exciting from that perspective. We actually have two products that have never even been to a trade show with AMAG before, being our Symmetry Mobile solution and our business intelligence data analytics, which I'm going to be talking a bit about today as well. So we have whole products that haven't even been at a show. So next week should be very interesting from that aspect. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of new things in our existing solutions and in these new products such as mobile and BI. So just to talk a little trade show philosophy here, right or wrong, AMAG looks at this show as a little bit more end user and maybe enterprise end user focused. So we've lined up our display and the products that we're showing in that light, and we're focusing a little bit more on larger end user or larger enterprise solutions like our Connect identity management, our control room command and control PSIM style solution that we have. Those are really going to be focused pretty heavily at the show, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit now. Obviously, products like our Symmetry Access Control solution are going to be heavily featured as well. Symmetry Access Control in particular is, if you've ever been on these webinars, I'm sure you've heard me say this before, it's the core of what AMAG does. This is really in our DNA, is physical access control. And this Symmetry solution is really the core of our entire portfolio that we're going to be showing. And why I bring that up is the Symmetry Access Control solution is actually going to be integrated with pretty much every other product that we're showing at the show, which really tells the story of how Symmetry Access Control ties everything else together. So yes, we'll be focusing on the enterprise side of things, but we're going to have our traditional products there as well. And wherever possible, we're going to be showing live integrations, like all the solutions that are there are actually going to be integrated together. So we'll be able to go into real use cases, real features and functionality along the way. And that's also thanks to the integration capabilities of that access control system. As part of Symmetry Access Control, we'll also be showing our latest panels. The M4000 panels will be deployed at the show and used as part of all our demos and things like that. Mounted up on the walls, you'll see our Symmetry Blue Bluetooth range of readers that will be mounted and available to use. Why I bring that up is you may before have seen demonstrations of our solutions such as Symmetry Mobile, but you might never have got to try it out. You might never have actually tested out that mobile application and what it's capable of. We're going to have readers that support the Symmetry Mobile app. You'll be able to actually get a credential, mobile credential. If you don't have one, we'll register one for you that'll work on those readers. So you can see that sort of end-to-end process as we go through those demonstrations. So it should be very exciting from that sort of standpoint that we'll actually see real integration, real functionality, and we'll be highlighting some of these new features and products as I've talked about. So just touching on a couple of other solutions here, the data analytics, Symmetry Business Intelligence, we're going to have that product as it currently stands deployed and available. For those of you who don't know, this is one of our newer products that integrates into the Symmetry Access Control solution and analyzes the cardholder data that is in that system according to that person's level of risk. So we're looking at each individual in the access control system and trying to understand who the riskiest people in our ecosystem may be. And we're applying a risk score to each individual. If you want to learn more about that, please come and see us at the trade show booth, and we'd be happy to take you through a demonstration of those risk analysis capabilities, as well as our occupancy analytics, which we've been putting a lot of work into. That can help out with a lot of sort of return to work and building occupancy that a lot of people are having to deal with these days. So definitely something to take a look at. We're actually going to be showing a sneak peek of our data analytics, the new user interface that will be released shortly after GSX in Q4 this year. So coming very, very soon. We've done a real overhaul of the Symmetry Business Intelligence tool. And this will be something quite exciting to take a look at the trade show. We've taken that data analytics tool, we've embedded it into a web browser. So now it's completely web browser based. It's got the similar look and feel to our standard AMAG web applications, much tighter integration into the Symmetry Access Control system itself. Also has the ability to even generate alarms in the Symmetry Access Control system directly now. So for example, if I detected that potentially a card has been cloned and I need to notify security immediately, I could have an alarm generated in that Symmetry Access Control system. So a lot of exciting things happening around the Symmetry BI solution, and that sneak peek of what's coming in Q4 will be very, very interesting, I think, to everybody. So be sure to definitely try and check that out. Some of the other solutions that we'll be touching on, I'll talk a bit more about connecting guest on one of the upcoming slides. Control Room, Symmetry Control Room, our command and control PSIM style application, very much an enterprise solution that is sits on top of our Symmetry Access Control, our CompleteView Video, but also many other third-party solutions and products that are out there on the market. And it's designed to give your users that may be in a security SOC that are responding to alarms, they can respond to all alarms from a single user interface, so from a single screen, whether that alarm came from the AMAG access control system or whether it came from the building management system at that local customer site. So this is a very powerful enterprise level solution with a lot of features, brilliant graphical mapping, and configurability that's extremely powerful. This is a solution that's gaining a lot of traction, it's gaining a lot of momentum. We're deploying at several customers at the moment, and just demos extremely well. Very flexible, very interesting product to take a look at. This is going to be front and center for AMAG at the trade show. This is going to be on multiple large screens. We'll be able to demo to larger audiences. So definitely something we want to highlight at the trade show. We'll have our latest solution deployed, integrated into other products there, and we'll have our experts available to talk through different use cases and third-party integrations, et cetera, et cetera. Finally, before we move on to the next slide, Symmetry Incident Management will also be shown at GSX next week. This is our enterprise incident management solution that also integrates with Symmetry Access Control. We have some newer features that have been recently released that we'll be highlighting. Computer-aided dispatch has been updated in there. There's a whole new messaging component, sort of instant messaging between security officers from their mobile application back to the officer in the SOC that's dispatched them. A lot of interesting new features there that are available that we'll be talking about. So enough with this initial slide. I have some additional slides here that we'll touch on some of the more specific things that we're going to show. So Greg, let's jump to the next slide, please. So starting with the Symmetry Access Control solution, I had mentioned that this we'll have our latest version deployed at the show. The M4000 panels will be connected to our Symmetry Blue readers, which will be mounted up on the walls on the trade show booth and available for use. One thing I didn't mention, the Zenatel Intelligent Audio solution, our Zenatel partners will be there, and that intercom audio solution will be integrated into the access control system as well. So we're able to provide live demos of some of that functionality too, that you'll be able to see there. We'll also be highlighting some of the newer features that have either recently been released or will be released in say shortly after the trade show or in Q4. So shortly upcoming sort of things, not long-term stuff. One of the features I personally really like is the new M4000 lockdown functionality that allows you to group different M4000 panels together into what we call areas, and then you can lock down that area. So for example, gives you a really nice clean way of locking down a building, for example, or a specific floor in a building, those sorts of things that can be done with that M4000 panel. So some interesting things that we'll be showing there. We'll also be touching on the features available in version 9.4, which will be released shortly after the trade show. One of the major features there is the CompleteView integration enhancements that we've recently completed. And that just really enhances the integration between these two solutions. It allows more data to flow in both directions. So both systems get more data, more events, that sort of thing that can be displayed, which can only improve the user experience in whatever system they're working in, and what I like to call situational awareness of that user as well. The more data we can give them, the more that they can understand about the alarm or the event that they're managing at that point in time. So this integration is definitely something we will be highlighting at the show. And then I'm not going to read through everything on the slide. You can see some of the other features that are there. There's also others that aren't listed here. For example, in 9.4, we've updated the cardholder user interface quite significantly to align better with products such as Symmetry Connect, our identity management solution. So that in the access control system, we've separated the identity from the identity's credentials or access cards. So now each one is on a different tab, and this makes it much clearer to the user what the data related to the person maybe versus the data related to one of that person's access cards. And then once again, this just aligns the system better with Symmetry Connect and some of the other integrated solutions. So be sure to come and take a look at what we'll be demoing for 9.4, some great improvements to the UI and a lot of other features that will be available to discuss with you next week. With that, let's jump to the next slide. Thanks, Greg. So we're obviously going to have our CompleteView video management solution that will be deployed as well and will be integrated into the access control system. A lot of new features beyond just the integration in version 9.4 that I was just talking about that's enhanced. The CompleteView VMS has a bunch of new features itself that we'll be highlighting and talking about at the show. So currently our latest version with CompleteView is version 6. Which has a number of new features, including multi-streaming, which is a really important feature, supporting multi-streaming from IP-based cameras in that solution, and a number of other features, including new mobile app, new web client, and a lot of exciting stuff in those particular areas. So all of the AMAG people are going to have mobile app on their phones that'll be available to demo, and we'll be able to show the latest features from CompleteView that are currently released. We will also be showing the next release, what's coming shortly after GSX. We will separately have that in a sneak peek where we'll be able to show some of the newer features that are coming in the next major release, our Q4 release, that is. So there's a number of things that we'll be highlighting in that new release. Where we'll be able to touch on a couple of things. There's some export logs that can now be exported across multiple days, where before it was on a day-by-day basis. We've made a lot of changes to our playback experience in the next release, where the search panel can be resized much more easily. The navigation pane and playback events have been changed. So a lot of interesting sort of updates that we'll be previewing at the show there, including also we've added a default time now for playback that can be specified. So some really nice little updates there that we want to touch on too. So let's jump to the next slide. Then once again, I talked about this a little bit on the first slide. Symmetry Mobile, brand new to trade shows. We've obviously talked a lot about this since the product was released, but what I think is quite exciting is really the ability to actually try this out. You don't have to take my word for the experience if you've never used this product before. We'll have the readers there. We'll have the ability for you to deploy the app and try it out, register people, that sort of thing that will be available there. There are other features where a security officer, for example, could use their mobile device to scan my mobile device or scan the barcode that's on my mobile credential to authenticate me. I can talk about that all day long, but until you see it work and actually play with it or see somebody demonstrate it, it doesn't quite paint the picture, right? So we're really going to be focusing on live actual use of this product at the show, which I'm quite excited about. And then on the screen, you can also see return to work forms. We'll be highlighting that at the show. We've talked about that quite a bit, where you will be able to see, the form, the user notification that they received the form, and then you can actually try out answering the questions on your phone or self-certifying according to your health status, that sort of thing, that we'll be able to demo and then show in the actual web browser the results of that self-certification and that end-to-end process, basically. And then we'll more talking about some of these features that are more specific to, say, on-premise deployments of Symmetry Mobile. But we've got a new multi-tier sort of server architecture that works really well for allowing access from outside of your network and that sort of thing that certain customers require. Gets a bit more technical. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but suffice to say, we've made a number of updates to this Symmetry Mobile solution, and will be available to talk about them obviously at the show. One thing I didn't mention is we will be able to show an end-to-end demonstration of I could add a user to Symmetry Connect that person would be pushed down to Symmetry Access Control, and they would also be registered in Symmetry Mobile automatically at that point, and then be able to get the register their credential and that sort of thing. So we will be able to show a complete end-to-end registration, originating in Connect and going to Symmetry Access Control and all the way to mobile, and you can see how that works. So it should be pretty exciting to see that demo live. Let's jump to the next slide, please. So finally, just talking a little bit about Connect and Guest and what we're going to be showing at GSX, of course. So we will have, as I've said, we'll have a Connect and Guest solution deployed. It'll actually be out of our hosted environment, so it'll be a SaaS deployment, but we'll be showing it at GSX, and it will be integrated with the local access control system. So it will be a real live integration, as I've talked about. And we'll be touching on a number of new features in, if we're talking about both solutions. Some of the really exciting things we've done. One is we're now capable of supporting additional access control systems outside of AMAG's Symmetry Access Control System with Connect and Guest. This is very new. We're finalizing deployment at one customer at the moment, and are close to moving in that direction at a second customer with a few more along the way. And we'd be very excited to start talking about options and capabilities in that particular area. So that is not a small amount of work that we had to do to get that going. So really major new enhancements that we're talking about there. We'll also be touching on things like multi-language support now, where the system supports a variety of languages, including right to left languages. And then there's a number of really flashy visitor and guest enhancements that we'll be talking about. A lot of screens that have been updated, made it the product easier to use. We've got automatic check-in where certain visitors can just be automatically checked in and added to the access control system. As you can see with the screenshot, we'll be showing how you could assign visitors a pass that can have a QR code, and that can be saved to their local wallet on their Android or Apple phones. And then they'd be able to use that at a QR code reader, along with some of the other features that we have in that solution. So a lot of really nice updates to these products as well that we'll demo very well next week. So as I say, I'm going to wrap it up at this point. That is the final slide. But as you can see, I'm pretty excited about what we have to show next week. Being away from trade shows this long has really built up the feature backlog here that we'll be showing next week. And please come by and take a look at some of these new products and new functionality that we have. With that, back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Jonathan. So as a reminder, if you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A box, and we will get to them after the webinar here. So as you can see, we're very excited to be showing our new products, Symmetry Mobile and Symmetry Business Intelligence. Next slide, please. And we've got several product enhancements with Symmetry Access Control, CompleteView, Connect, and Guest that you will be able to see firsthand on the show floor. So with that, I just wanted to personally invite all of you to come and visit our booth if you're going to be at GSX. We are at booth 913 and are located right in front of the convention center. So if you're looking at the slide there, the front of the convention center hall is at the bottom of the slide. And our booth is where you see the blue dot, which is right behind our parent company, Allied Universal. You can't miss us. If you still need to register to go to the show, just go to gsx.org and take care of that there. And then just to let you know that we've officially launched Symmetry Access Control version 9.4 last week, and we will be launching an updated version of Symmetry Connect Identity Management tomorrow. Both of these Jonathan had mentioned earlier. The updated version of Connect includes many new features that streamline workflows and improve overall functionality. However, as Jonathan said, the really exciting feature is that it now operates with third-party access control systems, including our competitors' systems. So this gives our users lots of choices. They no longer have to rip and replace existing systems. They can manage all of their systems with Connect. So this is a great option for our enterprise customers or any customers that are operating more than one access control system. So you can read about version 9.4 and Connect on our blog page. Connect will be there tomorrow. And again, if you are going to GSX, please stop by our booth 913. We look forward to connecting with you and learning how we can help you with your challenges. So let's see here if we have any questions. Okay, we have time for, I think, one question. Let's see. And Jonathan, this one's for you, of course. You referred to control room solution as a PSUM-like. Does the app have an ESRI interface? Does the app have a rules engine? What is the extent of your integrations?
Yeah, so that's a very, very good question. And yes, I was a little cagey with my statement there saying it was PSUM-like. It basically is a PSUM. If I interpret ESRI interface, I would think it's probably live mapping, geo mapping, that sort of thing, location services. And yes, that kind of functionality is built into the solution. It has a full workflow rules engine that allows you to configure exactly, if this happens, then, the user has to respond in such a way, those sorts of things. The extent of the integrations, we do have the integration documentation that lists what's supported, but it's a variety of solutions, including, bunch of video management, access control, building management, backnet, Modbus, all those kinds of things that are involved. So we can get into more detail, but yes, definitely is a very capable solution in those areas.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more question before we wrap up. How about, do you have an integrated solution with a biometric reader with temperature reading and works with Symmetry?
Yeah, so we don't have anything that you would see marketed or up on our website right now, but we are very, very close to releasing an integration with one of the latest Suprema face station readers that has that sort of capability. And definitely something we could talk a bit more about at the show. But yes, we are close to supporting something through obviously Suprema on that side, and should have something available, shortly from that. So definitely we reach out to local sales rep for more info, and we can get you that.
Thanks, Jonathan. So we're reaching the end of the half an hour here. So thank you, Jonathan, and thank you to Greg, who as always is working the magic behind the scenes today. If you have any questions, please reach out to your local AMAG salesperson and we can set up a meeting with you. As always, the full webinar and previous webinars are on our YouTube channel. The URL is on your screen there in the lower right. And as soon as we end this webinar, a short survey will pop up in your browser. Please take a moment to fill that out so we can make sure that we're always delivering the best information and content on these webinars. Thanks again for joining, and please join us again for our next webinar, which will be October 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Have a great rest of your day.